Hello friends, the topic of my discussion is research process. So here we are going to discuss about what do you mean by research methodology. Then we will discuss the flowchart of the research process, which consists of different steps. And at last we'll discuss about the overview of the research process. So friends, starting with the discussion part, research process, what actually the research is. So here we can see the definition of research. Research can be defined as the search for knowledge or as any systemic investigation. That means in the research you can see the word research. It consists of two syllables. Re means again and again, search means to find. So in the research, either we need to find out the new things or we need to explore the already established things. So in the research, either we give the new ideas or we develop a new theories or we give the solution to the already set up problems. So before selecting any topic, first you come to know what the research, in research what I am going to do. If your ideas are very much clear, how I am going to select the topic, how I will find out my topic, how I am getting to the subject, then the research it becomes very for all the students, very easy for all the students. So when any student he would like to select a topic for his research work, maybe minor or a major project work, so first he should have all the ideas how the research is going to be conducted, what kind of the topic that he need to select, how he is going to be select the topic, how he is going to be find the solutions, before that how he is going to be set up a question, then how he is going to be find the solution to the problem. So he should have all the basic knowledge. He should have all the basic knowledge regarding the topic that he is going to be select. So for that he need to gather the information from the primary and secondary sources. Primary sources are mainly the questionnaire, the interviews, face-to-face interactions, discussion with the friends, colleagues, the seniors, the teachers, everyone who get in touch with the research. The student facing the problem when he will select the topic. So he don't know actually how he is going to be select the topic. So this kind of the primary and secondary sources that help him to find his topic. So here in detail we can discuss the research process. In research process, what the students need to be done. If you see, the research process it consists of a series of actions or steps which are necessarily for effective carrying out the research and the desired sequencing of these steps. So before selecting any topic, he should know how he is selecting that particular topic and what he would like to find out about that, and what research questions that he need to find the answers. If you find the question or the problem, then how he is going to find out the answers? He should have all the basic ideas, he should have all the basic concepts regarding this topic. So here we can see the steps or the series of steps in research processing that starts with asking the research question. So just I told, collection of data from the primary and secondary sources. Primary sources include asking the question to fellow colleagues, researchers, seniors, teachers. So by face-to-face interactions or discussion with the friends or seniors, here you will collect the information, and also you will find the question or the problem that you need to find out. So once you set up your problem, after selecting your topic, then you go for literature survey. Literature survey, where you need to survey for the literature from the primary and secondary sources. Primary, as we already discussed, in the primary sources, face-to-face interactions, then in the form of questionnaires, the telephonic interviews or surveys. In secondary resource, all we collect the information from the online resources, websites, Google Scholars, different articles, journals, magazines, etc. From where we will collect or gather the information. So now you are having all the information that is required for finding the questions or giving the answer to that particular question. Then next step is formulating the hypothesis. So in the formulating hypothesis, you need to set up an objective and the hypothesis, that this is my problem for the topic that I selected. This is my problem that I need to find out. So the question that you arise in front of yours, the problem that arise in front of yours, that will be your objective. So in formulating hypothesis, you need to set up the objectives and the hypothesis. Then once you find out the problem, then you also have a solution for a problems, and the solution to the problem can easily find out with the research design. So the next step is research design. In the research design, you should have all the procedures, the methods, methodology, the experimental methods that you are going to be carried out for finding your solutions. So in the research design, you should have research methods, the experimental procedures that you follow. So once you will perform your experimental work, then you will get a data or observation that is called collection of data. So the observations that you got is called collection, and after collection of experimental data, you need to analyze it with the help of different statistical analytical tools, that is called processing of data, processing with the help of different statistical analytical tools. So after analysis, the results that comes in your hand, then you need to evaluate the data whether your objective and the hypothesis that fit into the model or not. If your hypothesis is get matching with your objectives, that means your question has been solved. You have find out the solution to the problem. If your hypothesis and objectives is not fit into the model, that means there might be some experimental errors. There might be some processing errors. So if any kind of errors that will deviate your results, if you need to avoid these errors, then you need to reduce or minimize the mean square errors. So once you will work out on the processing and optimization of the data, then your objectives and hypotheses will fit into the model, and finally you come to the conclusions. So in this way, actually the research will done. And if you see here, this is the flow chart. Identifying a research topic. If you see on the right side of this process, research process overview, you can see the flow chart is here. The flow chart is given. This one. The first is identify a research topic. This is the first part of the research process. Once you identify the research topic, then you need to define the research problem, or you need to set up the research question or the problem that you need to find out. So this is first and second steps of the research process: identifying the topic and literature survey. From both these, you can decide your topic, you can find out the problem, and you can set the research question or set the research problem. Then the third step is research design. In the research design, how you are going to conduct the research. After conducting the research, the experimental data, collection of data, that is called information collection. After collection of data, there is analysis, that means processing of your data. Then the interpretations and conclusions. At last, writing a research report. So this is the actual way of the research process that any student who are going for a research work, maybe mini or a major project work, so they need to be following in this way. The students, you might have learned the basic concepts in the research process. I think you understood the basic parameters, how you are going to be select your topic and how you are going to be find out the solution to the particular problem. Okay, thank you.